Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a very important update. Whether you're someone that has terralunaclassic in your portfolio or whether you're someone that's actually sitting from the sidelines getting ready for an entry, there's a magic question that everybody has, and that is, should you hold until $1 or should you not? Now, there's three important points I want to start off with, and these three important points are what your profit is dependent on, right? So number one is, how much do you plan to start with? If you're watching this video, everybody's financial circumstance is going to be different. There's some people that are playing with as little as $100. There's some people that are playing with as much as 100,000 plus, and there's some people that just have a few $1,000s to play with, etc. And your actual starting capital really is, one of the things that determine how long you could potentially hold from, right? Before we move on to the second important point, think about it like this. If you're playing with 100,000, right, then terralunaclassic only needs to 10x for you to hit $1 million, right? So that's a 10x. We're over a 10x. So if once it goes back above our September highs that we saw in 2022, right? So it should be from where we currently are now. Let's just go down. Let's measure how high it is from those highs. That's just under a 50%. So just under 50% from our highs in September. And guess what? You turn your 100,000 into 1 million. If you're doing it with 1,000, then obviously it's significantly less. You need price to go up way more. So let's just say you have 1 million tokens, then of course you're going to want price to hit $1 million $1, because that's going to be your $1 million target, right? So it's very much depending on how much you plan to start with. Now, the second important point is your entry price. So what price are you planning to enter at? So for example, if someone entered this, right at the lows from where terralunaclassic crashed, well, for them to hit $1 million, you could probably do it with $1,000 or under that, right? In the short term, you can actually outperform someone that's maybe starting with $100,000 now. Why? Because of the percentage gains, the disparity between your entry price, right, where you entered and when they entered, right? And then last but not least is your exit price. Your exit price is also very important, because the people that entered at the very lows, that didn't actually exit at the September highs, or just below that, guess what? Well, their profits have been diminished quite a bit, and they're probably up only a few 100%, right? So these are the things that you have to look at. These are the things that you have to focus on. Many people turn their noses up at a 10x. They turn their noses up at a 20x, but they don't understand that this is still very, very much life-changing, and can be life-changing depending on how you set up and have your overall portfolio structured. Now, let's just get into the video, because now is a time where we're going to get in a bit more in depth. You can see where we predicted where the market would take off, and it started to move already, right? And we're going to talk about whether we're going to see another leg, and when we can actually, when or if and when we'll hit that $1 target. So before I do that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, click the bell notification icon so you can stay up to date with all my recent videos. Remember, guys, nothing that you see in this video is financial advice. So always make sure to do your own independent research. And with that being said, pause the video, click the link in my description, and join the Telegram group so you can stay up to date with all my recent updates, news updates, technical updates, and much, much more. Now, the first thing I'm going to start off with is, will we hit $1 in 2024? Unless they burn the majority of the coin supply, which is currently over $5 trillion, the answer to that is categorically no. Of course, we know anything is possible in the cryptocurrency space, but the reality of that happening is very, very slim. So anybody that has their mind set on $1 for 2024, again, me personally, that's not a target that I would be fixating on, unless of course we see mass token burns, and that will obviously be factored into the overall analysis. But as it stands, with over 5 trillion 5.8 trillion terralunaclassic tokens, this It's very, very unlikely. So what are some of the targets that we should be focusing on, at least in the short term? Now, again, this is going to be an exclusive for everybody watching this, because most of our targets we lay out in our Crypto Crew Premium channel. This is where you're going to get access to our 100x altcoin gems, some of the coins we're buying now, our entries, our exits, our overall game plan for Terra Luna Classic, and other important coins. So again, do join us, join Crypto Crew Premium now. The link is in my description. But I'm going to give you this first major target that I would be looking at. So where would I be looking at my first target? Now, when I'm looking at my first target, we want to make it an area that we can actually take some profit at. Now, again, if you're planning to hold this for the long term, what I would personally be doing is maybe looking to take out 20 to 30% of my entry at this, basically at these current levels, right? So if you entered when I produced the first video last week, then at this level, even buying at this level now is still the same. Why? Because the idea is not to make the same mistakes as you did in the last bull cycle. Many people had great entries, many people made a lot of money, but because they didn't cash out on their capital, they either are in a loss or majority of their gains were wiped out. Whereas if you can take out 20 to 30%, you're in a great position, and actually gives you more confidence to hold the project for the longer term, right? And that is also an exclusive. So what would I be doing? Number one, the first target I'd be looking at is the September highs. At this September high is where, again, if let's say I'm playing with a lot larger funds, so let's say above 10,000 plus, then I'm looking to take out at least 10 to 20%, at least my initial capital at this area, which we've established is 6x from where we currently are now. Now, the actual target I would be looking at is this 10x. So this 10x is where I would be looking to take out, roughly around 20 to 30%. And also one thing to note is this actually changes. So if you entered from where we gave out our video before, when we anticipated and predicted Terra Luna Classic would break out, this actually changes quite a bit. Because up to this September high is just under a 10x, right? Which is why I've obviously said, I would be looking to take out my initial capital at least 10% or 20% at this current area. And at this area would be a 1,000, just under a 1,500% gain. So this is where you can see the entry is so important, right? The entry is so important, and this would be the area where I'd be looking to take out just, around that 20 to 30%. But that would be the major target I would be looking at Terra Luna Classic. And the main reason why is because although there would be a lot of traction, I do expect this pump to occur purely based on speculation, purely based off hype alone, as we're already starting to see for Terra Luna Classic. The market cap itself would be quite a bit. So currently we're at just under a $500 million market cap at this area. We're going to be in the billions, right? So just under 5 billion market cap. I think at this area, it's just sensible to take some profit out because of course we know that a lot of altcoins, what will happen is, again, this is another exclusive, altcoins will rally, but then what will happen is people will start to move their profits out of old altcoins and then move them into new projects, and maybe projects that have a stronger, just are more valuable, are more likely to be around for the long term. So there will be an initial pump, but a lot of these coins could crash, never to return for the bull cycle. And that is going to be a big question that Terra Luna Classic will have to answer this cycle. And I think around this area, so September highs and this area here, is where we're essentially going to see those questions answered. And if we do see price, sell off and pull the way back, that could be it. It may never recover. So that's why I think is wise. Again, much as my personal opinion, not financial advice, I would be pulling out my initial capital, or at least 10 to 20 to 30%. Now, This bull cycle is going to be a life-changing one. This is one where, as you can see, a lot of the institutionals are actually coming into play. I do think after this cycle, a lot of these life-changing gains will disappear. They won't be around anymore. That's why we're positioning ourselves right now in a lot of 100x, 1000x gems that we believe are going to be the next terralunas, the next polygons, the next solanas, etc. If you want to be a part of this, join Crypto Crew Premium now. The link is in my description. Again, it's a no-brainer at this point. And also join our free Telegram as well. Link is in the description, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That's it for now. Until next update, seize the day.